Hi, this is Craig from bitsbox.co.uk. In this video I'm going to show you how to do a quick and easy chipped battle damage effect on your miniatures. So in this video I'm using the Leviathan Dreadnought from Forge World. He's been undercoated with Army Painter's Chaos Red spray, which is like this dark red colour, as this is a colour that I want to appear underneath his base coat. So I'm going to be using a heavy chipping fluid, just this stuff here, and I'm going to apply it all over the miniature. Now you can do this with brush or by airbrush. I'm going to just use the airbrush in this video just for speed. So you need to apply just a nice even coat on all the armor plates where you want there to be battle damage. Again, you can just do this with a regular paintbrush, but it's a lot easier to just get a nice even coat just with the airbrush. So once you've gone around all the armor plates with the airbrush until you're happy with a nice coat of the chipping fluid, leave it to dry for about an hour or two. It takes a little while to dry. So here I'm just making sure it's dry. You can still see where it's sort of shiny and reflective, but that's just where the light is reflecting off the model. So next thing you want to do is just go around with your base coat. So I'm using Avalanche Sunset, as this is going to be for my Pre-Heresy Imperial Fists. Again, I'm going to be using the airbrush, but you can just as easily use a paintbrush. So as long as you get a nice smooth coat for your base coat, the model's going to look pretty good. So I've now gone around the whole model. I don't know if you can see in the camera, there's just a slight crackling effect just on his armour plate there, and this is caused if the chipping fluid is not 100% dry, and you can see on his leg as well just a little bit where the paint hasn't settled, again because the chipping fluid wasn't 100% dry in that spot. So maybe leave it a little bit longer than I did in this video. However, if that does happen to you, you can easily fix it just by going over with another coat, and I'm going to go over with another coat on this miniature anyway, just so I get a nice smooth yellow. So once again I'm going over with the Avalanche Sunset, and I'm just going to go around where the armour is sort of crackled, as I quite like the effect, and that will sort of help give them a little something different for the battle damage. Okay, so now that the second coat is dry, we can start doing the chipping effects. So first thing you want to do is wet the model. You can either do this with a damp brush, or as you can see here, I'm just using the airbrush just to spray water onto the model. So the water will help the chipping fluid react, and that will help you be able to scrape away at the top layer to get your chipping effect. So there are a couple of ways that you can achieve the chipping effect. First thing you can do is just use an old brush, just a regular paintbrush, and then you just run it over a model. I like to go around the edges of the armour plates. As you can see, some of that base coat is coming off and revealing a chipping effect. I always like to use like a stiff brush, like a dry brush for this effect. That tends to work quite bad. If you just want to do this by brush as well, if you keep the brush damp, that will help keep the model damp and do chip effects. So here I've got some tweezers. If you have some tweezers or scalpel or sculpting tool, you can just scrape away, do little scratches and such. That gives you some sort of variation between the chipping effect. So all you need to do now is just go around the entire model, doing this on all the places where you want it to be chipped. And here's the final effect. So you can see I've gone over the whole model. There's various different sizes of chipped battle damage, and the more water you put on, the larger you can make your chips. So I like to have a lot of variation over the model to really sell the effect. You can see I've done chips all over the model, including on the top and on its legs. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, which is hopefully the first of many different painting and modelling tutorials that we'll have on the channel. As always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.